It's your girl Jill, aka Jilly Vanilli, and I'm here with my bitch.
Nick, aka Nicoletti Spaghetti. I was waiting for you to call me a bitch. I was like, what is she doing?
I was gonna try to switch it up today, but I guess I'm not. But welcome
I'm
back
always
to the,
your bitch.
Welcome back to the Wasted Truth podcast.
Yippee.
Today we have a really fun, cool guest, Jason.
Introduce yourself.
Jason with Barrel Proof.
Yeah, my name is Jason Sorbet. I'm
Dude,
managing.
coolest last name ever.
I know.
I was looking, I was like, is it Sorbet?
It's Sorbet.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Managing partner for Barrel Proof here in Nashville.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, so if you guys are like watching on YouTube or anything, you'll see that we're in a different location. We're actually at Barrel Proof today, which is very cool.
Yeah, dude, it's super sick.
You get to see another bar, before hours, after hours, what have you.
Yeah. You, depending on if you stayed up all night or not.
True.
So it's funny how we got here is we got a DM from Barrel Proof, whomever was behind.
Barrel Proof slid into our DMs.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh my God, hi. I love you guys.
Holly.
What?
Yeah, Holly.
No, it was you.
I responded, but Holly initiated. She had mentioned this. She actually sent me a clip because you guys put out your first episode in a while recently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And she texted to me and said we should look at getting involved with these folks.
Oh my God. And then you looked at it and you're like, wait a minute, I already know one of these bitches.
Yeah, exactly.
Hello.
I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm down to do anything. And she said that she had listened to you guys record previously, or she'd watched them all the time previously from the older seasons.
Yeah.
Oh my God, shout out to Holly.
Yeah, truly. There it is. I was waiting for that. I watched the last 2 episodes. So
I was going to ask to see if, also, if you hadn't, it's not a big deal. But I always like to ask. If you've actually listened or watched.
I did, yeah. I watched Brenda's episode first, which was great. Shout out Brenda.
Yeah.
Crushed it. Rolling in on a hangover. Did an incredible job.
Yeah. I love how we got texts afterwards being like, my friends that know me really well were texting me after watching the episode going, oh my God, I could just see and hear how hungover he was. Only because people knew him.
And you know what my favorite part is? We never learn. One of us is always consistently hungover whenever we record. I'm not hungover. Who's hungover today?
Oh my God, not me.
Brenda, are you hungover?
You went out yesterday.
Jason, are you hungover?
Hunter's gone. He's probably hungover.
Well, Katie, you don't count because you get hungover off of one fucking wine cooler.
Damn. No, I stayed in last night. I was very proud of myself.
Yeah, me too.
I did a bunch of laundry, and then I was making plans, and then I was like,
no, wait, I thought you were at Shulman's last night.
No.
The jelly bean conversation happened at a different time?
That was a different day. Yeah. And it just got brought back up.
All right.
Last night.
All right. We have to ask everyone. Nikki decided to start this fucking poll on her Instagram.
Well, we were having a discussion at Shulman's about jelly beans because Britt, shout out
to jelly beans.
And jelly beans had a bag of them in her bag, and we were offering them to Pat, who works at Shulman's. And he was like, do you have any buttered popcorn flavored? And we were like, no, that's disgusting, you psychopath.
Wild choice.
Yeah, and he's like, it's exactly wild choice. And he was like, that's my favorite
offense,
one.
Ryan.
Yeah.
That's a wild first choice.
Exactly. And so then it just became this heated discussion at the bar. We were getting strangers involved. It was a whole thing. And so then a couple days later, another bartender, Ryan, posted a photo, tagged us in it. And then people just started getting in my DMs and they were like, no, this is the best flavor. Or yes, I absolutely agree with you. So I put up a poll. And right now,
it's almost 50-50?
It's almost 50-50, but the fuck knows are winning. So
I voted yes. I love
trash.
I love them. Again, it's not my favorite. So let us know. Do you like buttered popcorn jelly beans?
Please blow up my DMs even more.
This is the riveting conversations that we're having at bars.
Yeah.
Right?
Knows.
We love a good just dumb bar conversation. Those are my favorite things, especially when I'm working to overhear. When you're just walking around the bar,
yes,
and you're just listening to people just having dumb fuck arguments that really don't mean anything. I think those are very special.
Well, so we always like to do a little icebreaker question. So the one that I immediately thought of last night, don't ask me why, this is just what came to my mind. Do you like Rumplements?
Fucking love Rumplements.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Which one's the yay?
Love Rumplements.
Is it?
And I love it for multiple reasons.
Sorry.
That's a good one. No, I'll take it. For multiple reasons. One, because it is just delicious, but two, because as y'all know, being behind the bar, you talk a lot. What happens when you talk a lot? You get dehydrated. Your mouth gets dry.
Yeah.
Rumplements, 2 stones, 1 bird.
Yeah.
You get some liquid in there, lubes you up, but also makes your breath smell great.
True.
Yeah.
So I can shoot Rumplements all shift, not get drunk, and my breath smells minty fresh the entire time.
At the end of the night.
That's impressive.
Big fan of Rumplements.
Yeah, dude. We just got Rumplements at the bar that I work at, and it's been great.
Yeah, the first bottle we put up there in the graveyard. There's it's a collection of graveyard bottles
at the very top,
very top, and some vintage bottles that are from my personal collection or from friends of the bars. The very first bottle we put up there is a Rumplemints bottle.
Fuck yeah.
I don't actually know where it is.
I see it up on the left.
Left-hand side, kind of middle. There's like a
Left-hand
little
side.
baby next to it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
A
so
little
that
baby
was
figurine.
That was from the staff.
Oh, wait,
at
get a little closer to
bar
your
down
mic.
the street. What's that?
There you go. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was from the staff of the bar down the street. They were drinking roughly 7 bottles of Rumplemint's a week.
Oh my god.
Can
So
I
that
guess
was the
which bar?
first- Yeah,
Mother's Ruin.
no neighbors.
Oh.
Yeah,
No.
no,
Fuck
but
yeah.
none of those employees work there anymore. But like it was the
wonder
first
why.
bottle we killed, and they signed the bottle for us. They killed
Oh,
I
that.
that's
love it.
adorable.
They killed that bottle in like 2 days.
We love the camaraderie.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I'm excited to learn more about you and like your role in Barrel Proof. So like before we get into Barrel Proof, God, I can't. Barrel Proof.
It's hard for me to say it too.
I'm around my baby too much. Where are you from? What's your background? Like, when did you get into the industry? Like, give us a little rundown.
Yeah, so I'll give you the abridged version. I'm born and raised in New Orleans. I got into the industry to pay for college. I was a biology student at University of New Orleans. I lost my scholarship because I was a really bad student, and I was working.
Aw, at least
Real.
you're humble
No,
about
but
it.
like,
Yeah,
you're
you're
like
real.
real.
really bad student. So I got suspended, and then I was working like 3 or 4 jobs throughout my life to afford college. And then I was working at a hotel doing like banquet stuff and setting
Yeah.
up for events, bar backing events, closing down for events, whatever. And one of the guys I worked with, Ulysses, he told me about this bar that was opening up inside the hotel called 21st Amendment. That was like a cocktail bar. And I didn't know fuck about shit when it came to cocktails.
Yeah.
But he was like, if you want to do this, if you just want to make more money, have more fun, meet more people, like
Yeah.
you should go work at an actual bar, not like an events bar. So I walked in and I met the bartender, Sarah Carlton, and told her like, hey, I'm looking for a part-time role. I work at the hotel already, so like it's easy for me just like to transition into this role. She said, come back tomorrow and meet the manager, Chris McIntyre. Literally my first 3 hours there, I was like, this is what I want to do. I watched him make a very specific drink for someone. I watched the way this person reacted to them getting served this drink.
Yeah.
And it just kind of changed things for me.
Yeah.
And
Do you remember the drink?
yeah, it was La Louisiane.
Ooh.
Yeah, it changed my life.
What is
drink.
that?
It's
should know,
a
but I don't.
Manhattan variation.
Cool.
It actually predates the Vieux Carré, but there's going to be some cocktail historians in here that are arguing with me. But it was invented at the La Louisiane restaurant, which has been a restaurant since 1890.
Wild.
In the French Quarter. And it's a Manhattan with rye whiskey, Benedictine with French herbal liqueur, and sweet vermouth with a little bit of Peychaud's bitters and absinthe. And around the corner was Carousel Bar, and the Vieux Carré was invented in 1935 at the Hotel Monteleone. So most people think that like they were invented around the same time.
Yeah.
But because La Louisiane was made with absinthe, which was declared illegal in 1911, odds are that drink had predated the Vieux Carré. And for me, that drink just kind of like set me off into this industry. I just wanted to know how to make things like that, make people feel that way.
Yeah.
And that was kind of it.
Fuck yeah.
I just
That's
fell in love with
awesome.
it. Yeah.
That's a pretty sick.
I love the history behind New Orleans. I mean, New Orleans is one of my favorite cities to visit, and so I always get really excited when people want to like talk about, especially the
Special.
cocktail history. There is really, really cool.
Yeah, it's a special place. I learned how to make my first Sazerac when I was like 13. my stepdad.
Really?
Yeah, swear to God, my
Fuck
stepdad.
Yeah.
dude.
My stepdad, sociology professor in New Orleans and big boozer, loved drinking. Took me to bars all the time when I was younger. Because in New Orleans, like if you're with a parent, no one really cares.
Yeah.
But we were at our house in Broadmoor, and he taught me how to make a Sazerac cocktail. Like 11, 12, 13, one of those times. It was pre-Katrina, but it was pretty. I didn't realize how awesome that was until I started doing this for a living. That like I had an experience like that when I was younger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's very few and far between. Imagine like a 13-year-old coming in here and being like, let me get a
Make the
Vieux Carré.
Sazerac.
Yeah.
Can I have a
Can I
Sazerac?
get a
Yeah,
Vieux Carré,
judging me
please?
on my Sazerac, yeah,
You're
that'd
like,
be awesome.
You're like, can you even spell that? And they're like, no,
Yeah.
but make it for me.
What kind of
God.
lemon twist is that, dude? What are you doing?
Yeah, what the fuck is
Oh my
wrong
God,
with
this
you?
is trash.
So what was was that bar the very first bar that you worked at industry wise?
Yeah,
Well,
first bar.
aside from the hotel.
Yeah, first bar. I mean, I was doing all kinds of work. I was digging trenches for a local cable company. I was washing dishes at a pizza place. I was doing landscaping work.
Jack of all trades.
Jack of all trades.
I mean, yeah, but barely surviving on those things. Like, wasn't
Yeah.
good at any of
Yeah.
them. But 21st Amendment was the bar that I really kind of like owe a lot of what I have to.
Is it still open?
Still open, yeah, under different leadership now, of course. But I was able to leave like a really good legacy. One of my best friends took it over.
Cool.
And I think he's now actually the beverage director for a group of bars in that hotel now that include the 21st Amendment. So like it still stayed with like my lineage, which I'm pretty proud of. I was running that bar like a year and a half after I started working as a barback, just by
just fucking
Hustling.
working hard, hustling.
people leaving at the right time.
Yeah.
And I was the only person that really wanted to do it. So,
And you have to like really want to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot.
Yes, it is.
It can be a lot.
Yeah.
But if you enjoy what you're doing, then it doesn't feel like a lot.
don't regret it. I loved it. I was still a full-time student also. So,
Did you ever end up graduating?
yeah, got my degree in neuroscience. So,
Wow. Smart and hot.
well,
Great.
I made a promise to my dad that like I would graduate, even though I had told him probably 3 years into running 21st Amendment that I told him like this is gonna be my career. Like
Yeah.
I want to do this. I'm happy. I'm making a lot of money. I'm able to travel and shit. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to be in school for the rest of my life. I don't want to do research. I wanted to be a surgeon, but that's not going to happen. So I knew early on that I wanted to do it, and I promised him I'd get my degree. But through that process, I was still working full time. I was still in school full time, and
You got to fucking hustle for that. That's
yeah,
hard.
Yeah, it was worth it, 100%.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Sick.
I did the same thing with my parents too. Like I was the first one in my family to graduate with a degree, and they like forced me to do it. But I was like, I'm never gonna not bartend.
yeah. What was your degree in?
It's a interdisciplinary degree. It's like marketing and PR.
Yeah, sick.
We all have
Not
degrees
as cool
here.
as neuroscience, but whatever. It's
Yeah,
fine.
I mean, my mom also same story. Like my brother graduated before me because he's 2 years older than me. So he was the first person to graduate from college. I was the second 7-year student over here.
Same.
Oh, same.
No, same. Hard
Business
same.
degree.
I got suspended. I was a shitty student.
Except I didn't work, or I worked, but I wasn't working to pay off my student loans because I've forgiven them myself, so I no longer am not going to fucking pay those things. But I have so much student loan debt, dude. I have so much. Don't come
love
after
that.
me. It sucks. But yeah,
love
no,
that.
I have a business degree. So, but I mean, I guess I use it a little bit because I do have I have a jewelry business on the side. But I mean, I can't not bartend.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It's so fun.
yeah.
And especially now that I'm a mother, it's like it allows me to be a mom, but also still hang out with my friends
Yeah.
and drink with my friends.
100%.
Flexibility is so ideal, and especially the travel aspect too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
It's one of the world's oldest professions for a reason.
literally.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So tell me how you met the guys that created this. So it's hold on, I did my research. So it's you, it's Ken, or no, it's Liam, Robert, and you
Yes.
that started this.
Yeah. So I got tied in. I was running 21st full time. I was kind of bored. I was kind of gaming the system. Like I was running the program. I was bartending 2 days a week. But I was still a full-time student.
Yeah.
And I just got bored. And I was basically paying myself out a salary for all the admin work I did because we never agreed to doing a salary. And so I had some free time in my schedule because I had bartender that I was, delegating some responsibilities to. And a buddy of mine who had worked at Cure, which is like one of the best cocktail bars in the country, had been approached to work at Barrel Proof, and he couldn't do it because he was in deep with Cure. And it's not about like competition as much as like if you're in really deep with Cure, you should stay with Cure.
Yeah.
And he couldn't do it, so he had asked me to go, or he had connected me with Liam to go interview there. And honestly, like Liam knows this because he's one of my closest friends and mentors now. But I'd been to Barrel Proof a couple times prior to this interview and had not great experiences.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just it's.
Oh, so you
It
came in with like
happens.
a little bit of a chip on your shoulder.
No, not chip, just like concern.
Yeah.
But I knew that I wasn't gonna be at 21st forever. I thought there was a next level for me, and it didn't seem like that was actually ever gonna become a reality.
Sure.
So I went because I loved the company. I loved Sylvain. I loved Mobar, which is one of our restaurants in the French Quarter that closed due to COVID, unfortunately. But we had a really great profile of bars and restaurants that I was a huge fan of already. I just had some one-off experiences at Barrel Proof that left a bad taste in my mouth. So my buddy at Cure said, like, hey, you really should, like, if you want to go to the next level, like, you're either going to work at Cure, which I did and got fired from, which is a different story.
Ooh, we can get to that.
We can get to that. Or you should go talk to like Liam and Ro at Barrel Proof and get in with them. And I think that's more your style. And I went in this interview with Liam. We talked about what I had done at 21st. We talked about Barrel Proof. I told him that I had like some less than stellar experiences here. And he was very like honest, which to this day, like I think really got me in the door. He was like, yeah, we're aware of that. And that's something we're trying to work on.
Yeah.
And
that's where you come in.
100%. Well, it wasn't like we want you to work here to fix things. It was like, yeah, but we understand that there's been a reputation about some of the things we've done here, and that's not who we are at our core. So we want to, bring in some new blood and just change things a little bit.
Sure.
And that was ultimately what got me in there. And literally, my same thing that happened at 21st. My first shift, I think it was like March 7th. My first shift at Barrel Proof. first shift, I just fell in love immediately. It was
Yeah.
like a place where I finally felt like comfortable. It was so easy
It felt right.
to do good and to be good, and the money was good, but it was more about like the amount of fun that I had there and the people that I worked with and the experiences I had there were just so easy.
Yeah.
So I worked there for from 2017 to 2020 up until obviously COVID hit.
Yeah.
And that time I was working 3 or 4 days a week, throwing parties all the time, just like the natural things, like the energy's good in the room. Let's turn the music up. Let's get on the bar, pour some shots out.
Yeah.
May or may not have taken my shirt off a couple times. But we just had such a fucking great time. And I left Barrel Proof to open up our hotel, the Chloe, which we're opening up here.
Oh, here.
Yeah, in October, November, in that time.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah.
What part of town? You want to give away too
Hillsborough
much information?
Village.
Where?
Hillsborough Village.
Sick.
Around the corner from like one of my favorite bars, Villager Tavern. Around the corner from there in like Belcourt. So it's a small boutique hotel, and I left Barrel Proof to open that up as a beverage director.
Did you say 2021?
In 2020.
2020.
So we opened up October 2020.
Wow.
Like right post peak COVID.
Yeah.
Really tough time to be in the industry in general, but even New Orleans is like a little lax. So that is where I had like a new form of cutting my teeth in like operations and management. And in 2022, they had approached me in the summer because they had talked about expanding to Nashville for Barrel Proof. And it took me like maybe 24 hours to decide, but they approached me with a really great opportunity, which is like, we want you to, recreate what you did in New Orleans in a new market.
Spearhead
and
it here.
we'll make you a partner in it. So
Sick.
Had you been to Nashville before
Yeah.
you made this decision?
a couple times,
Okay.
yeah.
That's cool.
A couple times, yeah. And Liam and Roe had been up here a bunch, and for Nashville is just like a really special place, and there's a lot of similarities between New Orleans and Nashville.
That was one of the questions that I wanted to ask. Like, what brought you guys here? Obviously, there had to be some sort of like similarities between New Orleans and here. Oh, I've never been to New Orleans yet.
You're missing out, kid.
You gotta come down. We'll film the podcast in New Orleans.
I know we're talking about doing that this year for Tails.
Yeah,
so-
going to
Tails
chill.
is the time to do it. You can
I
get
know.
pretty much anyone in the room.
Exactly.
Also, for those watching, I'm pouring Cobra Fire. Can you tell me what the fuck this is?
This was Jason's pick.
Yeah, Cobra Fire. Like, if
I like the
Liam's-
lid.
If Liam is watching this, he's gonna love it because it's a still strength unaged Armagnac. There's a category of Armagnac called Blanche Armagnac that is really hard to sell, but it's essentially French moonshine.
Oui.
Fuck it
And
up. Let's
PM
go.
Spirits is the importer. Everything they touch is gold. It's like he's like the Midas, King Midas of imports. And it's the one thing that I can drink no matter how drunk I am. It ain't gonna hit me. But it's like
You've developed such a
I have a
such
tolerance.
a
It's-
thick skin for it.
It's 69% proof.
Giggity.
Or ABV, and it's like just really good, fruity, like really good, like farmer juice.
Hell yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
well,
Let's
cheers.
try this. Cheers.
Cheers.
First shot on air.
Thanks to you guys.
I spilled a little bit. I'm sorry.
You spilled a lot of it.
It pairs perfectly with a Bud Light Lime.
Oh, which, by the way, you grabbed a Bud Light Lime, and the last time, I know my mother's watching
yum.
and listening. My mom fucking loves Bud Light Lime.
Shout out to Hunter's girlfriend because we weren't going to carry Bud Light Lime until she slid into our DMs multiple times and asked. She was like, "Oh, I drink gimlets, but I'd rather drink Bud Light Lime." And I'm like, "Well, profit-wise, it makes more sense for me to keep selling you gimlets, but
Yeah,
also,
right?
I also fucking love Bud Light Limes." So
I remember whenever Bud Light Lime came out, when that was in like fucking middle school. Maybe.
Yeah, that was like middle school or high school.
Yeah, dude.
it's still great.
Yeah.
It was
still
just,
great.
it was, they were just pioneers in the industry. They added fucking lime to their Bud Light. We were all just like, yeah.
That's too funny.
Yeah.
But okay, so yeah, so then wait, hold on. So Barrel Proof just celebrated.
Yeah, when did you guys
have been
We
open?
just, 2014 is when we opened, so we just
Okay.
celebrated 10 years last year.
Oh yeah, so I did more research.
Yeah.
So Sylvain,
Sylvain. Yeah.
They've been around for 21 years.
2009 is when we opened.
Is that, I don't know. I had Quint do the math for me. I didn't do it. So a long fucking time.
15 years, a little over 15 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, and then the Barrel Proof's been open since 2014, so
Yeah.
11 years.
Yeah.
So it's obviously that like you guys are doing something right.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we create spaces, and like same thing we approached here, which we're going to talk about, I'm sure. But like we create spaces with like intention.
Yeah.
And like Sylvain's been there, and it's been doing very well for a long time too.
Yeah.
Barrel Proof has been there. Barrel Proof's a little different because the building's been there since 1860, so it's been a bar off and on for like 100 years.
That's fucking crazy.
You know, before Barrel Proof, it was RC Bridge Lounge, which was like a loved like deep neighborhood bar. Before that, I was just Bridge Lounge, which was like a punk venue.
Cool.
Before that, like Gigi Allen played there,
Very cool.
Like Gigi Allen, we talked about shit stories, took a shit on the floor in that bar.
Oh, we got one shit story in. I know we were talking about doing
before that. It had been another bar for sailors who were coming in because it's like not too far from the river, so it was a bar where like sailors would come in. So much history. Is in that building, and every bar we've opened up, every spot we've opened up has always been a place like drenched in history. Our hotel, the Chloe, which was a mansion that had been built in 1890 by an Alsatian immigrant. Mo Bar in the French Quarter had been there since the late 1800s. The Will and the Way, well, formerly Long Way Tavern, now the Will and the Way. That building's been there since the late 1800s. Like. It's also just, in New Orleans, you can throw a dart. It's like Rome. You can throw a dart and hit a building. It's been there for hundreds of years.
Yeah, 100%.
But we've always like tried to approach our places with intention and like think not just about what's hot now, but how can we make something that's going to last, 15, 20 years and still be ingrained in the community the same way.
I think you guys have how long has this been open now?
A little over a year.
I think it feels like it's been here for a really long time.
That is. To me, that's the best compliment we can get, and like we hear it enough now. It's like it's really validating.
Yeah.
Because this was a mixed use like physical therapy studio before. It was.
I was going to ask what it was before this.
White box, like nothing was in here.
Yeah, it's not a lot of history in this
No,
area yet.
no. I mean,
This is the first one where you went off the grid.
Yeah.
There is a lot of history in Germantown. Like,
Totally.
Like Mother's Ruin's got a beautiful building that they're in. Sauce has got a really badass house that they're in.
Yeah.
But this was a great opportunity because of the location, obviously. So we had
it's literally right in front of the entrance to the Sound Stadium, which is our like local, what is it not?
AAA
baseball team.
So close you could hit with a baseball.
You really
Literally,
could. I know. You literally can. They proved
this
it.
is Bicentennial right here, not Centennial. So Bicentennial throws a bunch of shit. Oktoberfest is here. They do Deep Tropics, the music festival.
Pride is there.
Pride. Oh
yeah.
Yeah, so you got a lot of shit going around in this neighborhood.
And with that, it's like it was kind of tough for us to go into a white box that has no history, has no culture, like built into the walls. Like at New Orleans, like all of our spots, like there's history seeping out of the fucking walls.
Are they haunted? Any of
And
them?
like character.
One of our rooms in the Chloe had like some specter shit happening a couple times where it's like one of the rumors was that before it was the St. Charles Inn, which was like a bed and breakfast. There was a lady that lived there with like 90 cats. So in all the rooms,
sounds like my future.
Smells stinky. Sounds stinky.
I don't think she was worried about litter boxes either.
Literal hell.
All of the rooms have like these really nice handmade chairs that are hand upholstered that have a cat painted on them. It's kind of like an homage to the lady that came before the Chloe.
And they all smell of cat piss.
And they all smell of cat piss.
Oh no!
But that's the thing. Is like that's the haunted part. Is that we didn't have any cat's piss on them. But they all smell of cat piss some way.
I want that seeping out of the walls here. That's just rude.
Yeah, they're not haunted. The rooms just will randomly start smelling like cat shit and piss.
God.
Yeah. So that was tough for us design wise because this place didn't have any of that
character.
And so it didn't have the character is the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
It just didn't have the character.
But the neighborhood's got a lot of character.
Yeah, it's character. I mean, the neighborhood like historically is like pretty like low income and blue collar, like pre-modern times, like low income blue collar. And at its core, Barrel Proof is meant to be like, we have all these really nice whiskeys, but if you know how to find them, there's a lot of really cheap options up there. And so Barrel Proof at its core is meant to be like a blue collar neighborhood hangout.
Approachable.
Like we have a $2, we have a $4 shot and beer. If you can find it, we have a $5 shot and beer publicized every day, all day.
Yeah.
That's usually my go-to when I come in.
Yeah. That's like at our core, that's who we are.
Yeah. Was it, did you have like the whiskey knowledge or anything before like starting at Barrel Proof, or was it joining Barrel Proof that got you more into the whiskey side of things?
I mean, you guys know
you just
this.
Have to be.
Well, you guys know this also, but it's like you think you know.
Oh, yeah.
But you don't. Like I don't know shit. At 23, I thought I knew so much because I was running my first bar.
Yeah.
At 33, I realized I don't know shit about fuck.
Yeah.
And I love that idea. I thought I knew enough about whiskey going into it, and after like my first week at Barrel Proof, I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah, what the fuck?
So it's
especially
like,
coming up closer to places like here in Kentucky that do have a lot of whiskey and
I mean,
kind
the
of
New Orleans
that trail.
New Orleans Barrel Proof, you guys have like what 400 plus whiskeys?
over 400.
And,
yeah.
I mean, you guys have a lot here too.
You gotta be getting up there now.
We have we're in the 300s, but like New Orleans is a little bit bigger than ours.
Okay.
They're about
so just space wise,
they're about 9 feet deeper, 9 feet longer. So they have like 3 more shelves than we do.
9 feet longer. Great episode title.
Who doesn't ask for that? Ever?
Yeah, so like they have a little bit more, but we've kind of switched gears, and this is something I think happened at New Orleans when I was there. We switched gears, and like we've never intentionally tried to be like a whiskey bar because there's a lot of expectations around that.
Sure,
Yeah.
like, sure.
We don't
You don't like label yourself as a whiskey
Yeah.
bar. You just happen to have a lot of whiskey.
100%.
Gotcha.
Like that's literally my elevator pitch. Like
Yeah.
we're thank you. That's literally word for word my elevator pitch.
Oh my God, I'm
People
giving myself
come
a
for
gold
the,
star.
People come
Yeah,
for the
truly.
whiskey and stay for the frozen margaritas.
Yeah, you read that.
I
You
did.
did the research. Yeah.
I was like, I would come for the whiskey.
You read that.
I feel like the first time I ever came here, it was before I even really knew you guys. It was like your first week or 2 of being open. And I was like, oh, this bar was made for bartenders.
Totally.
Just the
Yeah.
fact that the full menu itself, it was all just like Boilermakers, like beer and shot combos and all that kind of stuff, which is like so bartender focused.
Yeah.
Totally.
And all the staff was super nice, super
So nice.
accommodating, so
Thank you.
amazing. And so I was like, this is great. I'm going to come here all the time. And it's like such a quick and easy stone's throw from East Nashville. And we always complain about like, oh, crossing the river or like,
I get it. I live in East. I get
Exactly.
it. I'm
Yeah.
the same way.
And so like I always think about that, but I'm like, oh, this is the easiest spot to hit after crossing the river.
Yeah.
And it's still one of my favorites to this day. And like, I mean, and then like getting to know you and Hunter a lot more and the rest of the staff as well. And just coming
Just
in
makes
so
you love
much.
the place even more.
Yeah. I
Easily.
appreciate
Yeah.
it.
I was so very welcome when I come here. So
I
that's
have
really
to say,
cool.
I was actually here last Monday. But I have to say,
Do you
I
have a
love-
different experience?
No. I want to piggyback off of that. So obviously, I've got a 2-year-old, and so before I go anywhere, you always have to ask. You don't want to assume that they allow children, because the bar that I work at, we don't allow children,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel bad turning parents away. But it's also like you should have asked. Like you got to do your research. So
Yeah.
I DM'd you guys and asked if you guys allowed kids. And I got the nicest response ever that I was like, I showed everybody. I was like, look how, like you guys were just very just like, absolutely.
Was that Holly again?
Well, it
Maybe.
could.
I mean, I've really tried to take a step back from social media in general,
Yeah.
just for my own mental.
Yeah.
And Holly and I had a conversation like 2 weeks ago, and I told her like, this is what I'm holding you accountable for. Like, this
Yeah.
is how you respond to people, and not like in a douchebag way, but it's like, this is the voice of Barrel Proof right now.
Yeah.
I want to make sure it's consistent. And so odds are it probably was Holly, because I'm really trying to take go
Yeah.
the reins entirely, just to let her do what she wants to do.
Sure.
Because I trust her.
Yeah.
So it probably
that
was
response was incredible. It was so nice because obviously, you know,
What
I
was the
wasn't
response?
sure. Huh?
What was the response?
Let me show you. I have
Yeah.
a
Do you have it
screenshot of
pulled
it. Yeah. No,
Normally-
it was really, really sweet.
Normally, my response is like, we have the same rule for kids as we do for dogs. As long as it's on a leash, it's totally fine. And some people see the
Oh my
humor
God, I
and they
love
love
that.
it, and some people are like, all right.
No, I
I can't tell if you're kidding.
literally have a leash for my kid. I got one. He fucking.
No, you didn't. You turned into a leash mom?
Yeah, dude. But
Oh
it
my
like
God.
I get it.
It attaches to his wrist, so it's like
It's more
More
humane.
humane?
yeah. But also, there's one oh here we go. Your response was, "Hey there, Jill. Great question. For you, yes, as long as they don't sit at the bar or the bar area, and if it's before dark, is generally a good rule of thumb. Some of our staff have children, and they go by these guidelines as well when they bring their kids in. We absolutely would love to have you over for our 50-50-50 or whatever you'd like. We have plenty of sodas and NA options for the kiddos. Holly's kid always goes for the burger and basket of French fries.
Yeah.
Winky face, and I was like, that was
That's so
really
cute.
That was Holly. It's
Cute.
funny she said Holly's kid because it's like
Speaking in third
Well, when
person.
she
yeah.
also like. I mean, it shows like. I mean, she is literally the best. But I told her
Wait,
like
did
I
we
want
shout
this.
her out yet?
Yeah, shout out Holly, please.
Love you.
When she and I first talked about her taking over social media, because she's our marketing manager now. She was a bartender full time. She was one of our managers.
Cool.
But we moved her up to be our marketing
I love that.
manager. I told her like I want the voice of Barrel Proof to be relatively androgynous, and for me the goal is like no one knows who they're talking to, but they know they're talking to someone
Yeah.
at Barrel Proof, in Barrel Proof. So it's funny that she spoke in the third person, because then she thought about that conversation that she and I had.
Yeah.
They're
I
doing
love that.
great.
Also,
Again,
speaking
shout her out
of
again.
the 50-50-50.
Oh yeah, let's pour it up.
Oh, I'm so glad you asked.
Will you explain it
I would love
to the
Yeah.
listeners?
I actually thought Courtney might be walking in soon. She's supposed to deliver some
Some winnings for you
Oh,
guys.
yeah.
paraphernalia.
Your guys' winnings, which we can get into that, but explain the 50-50-50.
The 50-50-50 was Hunter's creation. Shout out Hunter. He's the bar manager. He's one of my best friends.
He was the guy that was just in the background if you guys are watching.
Yeah. He was
Being a creeper doing his job.
He's an OG industry vet from New Orleans, if you can see that, 50-50-50. Obviously, it's the FDA-approved label.
Yeah.
He was a regular in New Orleans. He's one of my closest friends. He's one of my trusted confidants. And I'd love to talk about Hunter and Hunter's involvement in Barrel Proof because I want to give him his flowers also.
Yeah.
He came up with this when we were doing a Fernet menu or Fernet feature, I think in October. And Courtney knows this, but we sell a lot of Mr. Black, the other like premier coffee.
I fucking love Mr. Black. Shout out to Mr. Black.
It's really good.
So yummy.
And he was like, I want to do something for Courtney and like tying all the brands in one. And like, I think I'm just going to do like a 50-50-50. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, he's like, no, so, like a 50-50-50. It's like 50-50 this and like the other half is that. And I was like, I need you to break it down.
Yeah.
Which we did a video on
Yes.
on our social media.
I love your guys'. It's so silly. I love it.
Shout out to Holly again.
Yeah, you're
gets
doing
another one.
great on the socials.
Where's
The
Holly? You know
little-
what? You can
the
leave.
little
Where's
funny
Holly?
video.
We need to talk to Holly.
you have to do a second episode where you bring in Holly and
I would love
maybe
to.
a third episode to bring in Hunter because they're both incredible.
Oh, always down. They're all on the list.
Hunter, look
So-
up and wave.
That's my boy.
He's busy.
Yeah, he's actually running the bar right now. So the 50-50-50 is it's in a 1 ounce shot. Half of it is 50-50 or hard start. So it's half Fernet Branca and half Branca Minta. And the other half is Borghetti, their coffee liqueur.
Hell yeah.
And the first time I tasted it, I literally was blown away. I was like, this is so fucking good. And it's so simple.
Yeah.
It's like a thin mint.
Yeah.
Essentially, that's what I get.
Yeah, truly. It's like a more bitter, like thin mint. And it's like also a good conversation piece because people ask what it is. It's on our menu for our secret handshake. I think it's either a bartender's handshake or a secret handshake. It's a 50-50-50 and of course banquet.
Fuck yeah.
So
Yeah.
Well, cheers
yeah.
to that.
Cheers to that. Cheers to Hunter.
Cheers. Cheers, Hunter. I don't know what I'm
I'm
pressing.
busy.
What's this one? What? No, you know what? I'm not going to press it because it's
Yeah,
probably
because I
the
don't want you
fucking
to hit the
intro.
boo. I don't want you to hit the boo button. But I don't.
Just not the first one. That's the intro.
I'm surprised you haven't labeled this yet. Honestly,
We keep saying that
we
we're going to
keep saying
fucking
that
label
it doesn't really fit. Like the
Oh
little
no,
label maker
we can
won't
make
fit.
it work.
Bing bong.
Okay, bing bong. All right, there we go.
he likes Bing Bong. That's good.
Bing bong.
Yeah,
That one's just for you, Hunter.
That was the one that
I have a label maker, so we can do this after.
Oh, hell
God,
yeah.
You're literally
Actually.
the best guest that we've ever had on. Oh, speaking of your shots on your menu, when I was here on Monday, my favorite thing that you have on the menu is I love green chartreuse. So you have the green chartreuse, the bottle of the sparkling rainwater, and
Yeah.
then is
and
that
a
it?
muchacho?
It's a muchacho.
Muchacho.
Yeah.
Yes, that was the first thing that I ordered when I came here too.
Yeah.
It's so
Because I was like,
awesome.
that's
it's
like-
such a good deal.
So
I love, shout out Pat, but I love my 3 drink minimum. Like
Yeah.
Literally.
I need something like water or soda water, and I need some booze, and I need some harder booze.
this
all together
menu
in one.
is made by bartenders for bartenders.
Exactly.
Thank you.
And normal people too. You guys.
Yeah.
These are great.
You
yeah.
normies can still show up. It's
Yeah.
fine.
That one is that one's a callback to one of our guests in New Orleans actually, who is a legendary dive bartender. And I'm not going to shout them out on the podcast, just out of respect for their identity. They probably want to keep themselves
Sure.
like humble and such.
Yeah.
But legendary bartender, worked at one of the best cocktail bars in the country. Also worked at one of the best dive bars in the country.
He's
at
got
the s-
range.
At the same time, yeah, boy's got range.
Yeah.
And that was his pre-shift drink going into the dive bar. Was he would have a chartreuse, a Tecate, and a soda water.
That is
We love
literally my
Tecate.
Yeah,
ideal.
which it's a
that's my
bartender's
ideal
thing
order.
for sure. But it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
like when we first
We have
opened,
Tecate can tattoos.
Matching to
Did
best
you know
friend
that?
tattoos.
I did not know that. Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
We'll show you later.
Hell yeah.
They're on our ass.
Hold.
That was meant to be like an homage to him because
Hell
he
yeah.
would come in like 3 or 4 times a week before his dive bar, his graveyard shift. And I was like, it's such a fucking dive bar thing or such a bartender thing that if you put it on a menu, people are going to see that and they're going to get it.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
And I
was
immediately bought it
absolutely
the
delighted
second I saw it.
because I mean you get all 3 of those things for the same price as a shot of green chartreuse anywhere else.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
great
my,
deal.
my margins are fucked, but it's about
It's worth it.
It's
Yeah.
worth it. It's a payoff.
Courtney's in the house
For the
Hey,
story.
Courtney.
Yeah, to the legend. Shout out to the legend Courtney.
We had Courtney. Yeah, we had Courtney on the podcast.
Oh, good, good.
You're in the shot. Say hi. Wave.
Yeah. So what is Courtney dropping off?
Oh yeah, let's talk about it
Yeah. Courtney is dropping off Fernet basketball jerseys
because they won
because
a March Madness that Fernet was throwing,
Yeah.
and it was just a bunch of local bars.
Yeah.
Like a whole bracket, like a breakdown of all different local
And you're
bars
up
that are
against some
against-
like heavy hitter people that have been here for a while.
Truly.
And
for real.
the fact that you guys won really just goes to show like how big of an impact that you had in the year that you've been here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
We were really humbled, one, just like to make it to how far we made it.
Yeah.
To be like head to head with bars that have like such strong, loyal followings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For only being here for a year. And for me, it's just a huge testament to the community that the team built here. like we do nightly EOS reports, like end of sales reports, and we keep track of like our regulars and VIPs that way, and like new recruits, like anyone that comes in for the first time that may have alluded like they're going to come back again. We keep track of those people. And like even on like a Wednesday night, like yesterday, our regulars VIP list was like 50 people.
That's awesome.
Which is like that. I think that's the main reason why we won, is because we had like a lot of people that come in. Fucking like we have a guy who lives across the street, Kevin Lashansky, who we basically won for Kevin because he's like
shout out to your regular Kevin.
Kevin's gonna love this. Like Kevin himself is the largest account for Bronchomenta in the state of Tennessee. It's not barrel proof. It's Kevin Lashansky. He probably drinks 6 bottles. Like we sell maybe 7 bottles a week. He drinks 6 bottles a week. At least 6 of them? Like I'm not kidding.
That is impressive.
We got a jersey
Kevin.
for him because like he literally is a big part of it.
Oh my
but
gosh,
also,
so funny.
like big shout out to you
him.
for like creating the space for your bartenders to work in that allows them to have such good connections with people that come in.
Thank you.
And work here.
Thank you. I appreciate that, but it's again, it all goes to them.
Yeah.
Like they've really done something incredibly special. Like our team, like really, they understood the assignment from day one.
Yeah.
We have 100% of our opening staff
which is
from
awesome.
day one.
That says a lot.
That is really impressive.
Thank you. They give a fuck.
The amount of bars that just have such high turnover. No, you can't.
We'll be expanding hours.
I love my job. I love my job. No, I do.
It's all for them. It's all for them.
Yeah,
like
you did a really good job. Also, all the videos and this, like again, that goes back to your social media. Like the videos that you guys have posted are just so fucking silly, and I love that shit. Because why take it? Why be so serious?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Like people that take this shit too seriously, I don't understand. And I used to be one of those guys. I used to be like a mixology, like cocktail dick. I 100% was. Yeah, 100%.
I was waiting.
100%, right?
I was waiting to use it.
I was for a long time.
Sure.
We all go through those phases.
Totally.
Especially as like a baby bartender and like your first experience is going straight into a cocktail bar too.
Yeah.
Like
you want to prove yourself and you want to be the best that you can be, and it can sometimes like
takes over.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was very lucky. I had a really good mentor that caught me one time in the act. I was behind the bar and I corrected. Of being a dick. Yeah.
Caught in the act of being a dick.
Straight up. And I was at 21st Amendment. I was correcting someone on the history of a drink that was just, it didn't fucking matter. Like I had no reason to do that.
Yeah.
Right.
It was like
no
the pure,
reason.
like, well, actually.
100%. I did that shit, but I was wearing a bow tie and a paperboy hat. It was
No.
the worst, dude.
Oh God. Oh, that's like screaming like 2012.
I know. Well, it was a prohibition era cocktail bar.
Yeah, of course. Suspenders.
Yeah, the whole
Did he have
nine.
like a little handlebar mustache?
Well, I can't grow a mustache, but if I could, I would have had one.
You would have had one?
Yeah.
Well, you got a great head of hair, so that's all that really matters.
Thank you. He told me, and I tell it's in my training manuals. Whenever I did consulting, I've talked to the staff about it. Like, mixologists serve drinks, bartenders serve people, and like I think you can still like skew that a little bit, but it's like at the end of the day, this industry is about serving people, not serving drinks.
Yeah,
it's not about what we're serving; it's about who we're serving, and that for me was like the biggest catalyst for me kind of changing my perception and my philosophy behind the bar. And then
absolutely,
a year later, I started working at Barrel Proof, and like everything changed.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, and I try to create that because we hire people that have like extensive cocktail backgrounds.
Sure.
And I want to make sure they're on the same page with me. It's like I don't give a fuck about the drinks you make.
Yeah.
I really don't. Like if you can't make someone feel seen and feel comfortable and make them feel like they're a part of something bigger, then like you're not doing your job here.
100%.
Another place that'll work, but like not with our group, not here at Barrel Proof. Like we need someone who's not worried about drinks.
Mm-hmm.
That's such a good way to look at it.
It's just like a super well-rounded bartender. Like
Yeah.
you could be a great bartender in the terms of like the drinks that you make or whatever, but like it's the full package that really makes someone a great bartender.
Yeah, which brings them back to the bar.
Yeah.
So you're able to serve them.
Yep.
I guess this kind of makes me think about what do you think? Well, since you've been opening this bar, obviously it's a lot. Like you're the person that's boots on the ground. You're doing all this. You're making all these things happen. It's hard to find time for yourself. Do you feel like trying to not be burnt out? Like what do you do to not burn yourself out?
Actually, just before I got here, I just finished a therapy session with my
We
therapist.
love a Therapized king. I almost said queen. Shout out to therapy.
I just finished a therapy session with my therapist, which I never really did therapy because I'm pretty good at regulation
Sure.
and self-reflection.
Yeah.
And just have been going through some like pretty dramatic life changes recently. So I needed to do therapy. Not that I wanted to, I needed to do therapy.
I think everybody needs a little bit of therapy.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we talked about burnout, and we talked about some of the things I was experiencing currently. He's like, you're literally in burnout right now, or you're overcoming burnout. And I had thought, because I was working 60 hours a week and I was in school 20 hours a week, that I had experienced burnout already.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, like what you experienced like this time last year, or what you experienced 6 months ago, whatever what we talked about. He's like, you're in burnout. And burnout, what he told me that I didn't know was like burnout takes, from what most studies say, it takes like 3 years to recover from.
Damn.
Because yeah, right. That's exactly what I said.
God.
My exact words were, you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, I have 3 years to get over this? He's like, yeah, like it's what, like, you literally have to change your brain chemistry. So I don't have an answer for that, because I'm still in the process.
Still trying to figure it out.
Yeah. Like I had burnout when we opened Barrel Proof.
Yeah.
It's a lot opening a new bar in a brand new city.
In a brand new city, yeah.
It's
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely not
changing
gonna,
your whole life.
I'm definitely not going to downplay it as like an easy thing at all. I also didn't approach it the right way mentally.
Sure.
I made some mistakes, some great mistakes. I made some really good mistakes that I learned from that I won't have the same mistake. I won't make the same mistakes next time.
Yeah.
But I was in a really weird place for a couple of months, and I don't have an answer for how to prevent burnout, because I'm currently trying to recover from it myself.
You're taking the right steps.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
Day drinking, on a podcast. That's part of my burnout recovery.
Oh, hey, yeah, I think we should
That's
recover
fine.
a little bit more. Which one do you want to take? Do you want to do?
I can drink Cobra Fire all day, so let's just do that.
Do Cobra Fire. Here, my hands are too sticky to too clammy to. Okay, so another question.
Yeah.
Aside, obviously, from your own bar, what's your favorite bar that you like to hang out in Nashville?
It really depends on the mood I'm in. So,
Okay.
and I'm sure y'all also will understand this, but like, yes, recovering from burnout, but also like sometimes it can be really hard for me to enjoy myself in bars because I look at it from a different lens.
Totally.
Yes.
And so I'm
Very
way
much
too
so.
fucking critical, like
Yeah.
in a negative way.
Yeah.
Like it's hard for me to go to a bar with some friends and just like enjoy it. And it's something I'm really, really trying to change for myself. But some of the bars that come to mind immediately, like in terms of cocktails, like RIP Bay 6, I think what Bo was doing at Bay 6 was one of the best cocktail bars in town. It was like really intimate. It was really like just genuine and like forward, and there was no pomp and circumstance around it. So I'm excited to see what he does as new spots.
Agreed.
The Fox, I think, is like one of the best cocktail bars in town.
It's one of our favorites.
Yeah, and
love Kevin.
I love Kevin. Kevin gave me one of the best compliments I've ever received, which was we were at Roy's, and we were just like drinking Guinness and playing darts. And he said, honestly, man, like for someone who had moved to a new city and didn't really know many people, and you had to open a new business, you could not have done it better.
Yeah.
And that gave me goosebumps. I was like, fuck, like it's so validating, especially someone like Kevin. Like
Someone that kind of knows knows what you're going through and how hard it is.
100%. Like it really gave me goosebumps, and I could
Did you
not
kiss
be
him
more
on the lips after that?
Yeah, but his wife was in the bathroom, so
It was
Shout out
okay.
to Jesse. Love you.
Jesse was hiding, or Jesse was just watching in the cuck chair.
I love Villager Tavern. I love like neighborhood bars.
Have you gone to Villager Tavern on your birthday?
No, I
Have you
haven't.
drank out of the dog bowl?
I haven't. No.
Oh my God,
I was
that's a
there.
thing?
Yes.
I was there.
Oh.
I was there like 3 weeks ago with a buddy of mine. He's like, yeah, they do the dog bowl here too, because I was talking about like the tie to New Orleans, because the owner is from New Orleans.
Oh, cool. I didn't
Okay.
know that.
And my buddy was like, oh yeah, did you know they do the dog bowl thing here too? I was like, fucking dog bowl thing. He's like, yeah, they do a dog bowl thing for your birthday. I was like, dude, no bars in New Orleans do a dog bowl thing. He's like,
this
are
is
you
news
sure?
to me too. But do you just like drink a beer out of a dog
so
bowl?
you tell him
Yeah.
it's your. So before I even
Oh my
lived
God.
here,
Do you have
Ashley.
to lap it up, or can you just
shout
like,
out
lift
to
it up?
Ashley? She was like, took me on like, no, I think I had been living here for a little bit, and she was like, she's so good at like spoiling people and surprising people with
Okay.
things that are like perfect for them.
Yeah.
And she was like, you know what this bitch is gonna want to do? Drink beer out of a fucking dog bowl. And I was like, you're right. I loved it. But yeah, she brought me there in like 2019.
Okay.
And it's like the most not disgusting, but it's like the most worn dog bowl ever. And you just show them your fucking
Oh, no.
ID, and they like. and they fucking pour a beer in it and you drink it.
But for real, though, do you have to lap
picture.
it up, or do you get a straw, or do you just like pick
No,
it up?
I drink it out
Here's
of
my
the
question.
the fucking thing.
Oh my god!
If I go there with my dog and say, "Hey, do you have a bowl?" Do they give
Do you
me
think it's the same
bowl?
one?
Do
It's
they
got to
give
be
me-
the same
If
one.
they give me the same bowl, then I'm
Well, no,
a little
maybe
concerned.
not, because what if there's somebody there for their birthday? What are they gonna do? Fucking take the dog bowl from the dog and be like, here you go.
Well, who's more important, a dog or a paying customer?
A dog.
Great answer.
Okay, as a bartender,
hesitation
a dog,
either.
but as a business owner, obviously the paying customer.
Yeah.
You can be like, you can go ask the dog if it's cool if we take it away.
Yeah.
You meet him in the middle. No,
Yeah.
but it was like, it's
Oh
so
my God.
silly and so dumb, but like, I love that shit.
Well, whose birthday is next? Mine was last Sunday.
Mine was last month.
Mine was in January. All right.
Brenda's.
Dog bowl date.
Hell yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'll make sure
yeah,
they put a
Brenda's in
Labatt
June.
Blue in there for you.
We're gonna hold you to it. We're all gonna go together.
Other bars I love, I tell her this every single time I go. I've never gone to Old Glory and had a bad experience. Truly.
Yeah.
Truly.
You know, so you and I haven't met
Yeah.
prior to today, but that's how Nikki and I met. We both worked at Old Glory. I worked at Old Glory for about 6 years.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Like 5-ish,
5
6-ish
for me,
years.
yeah.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that bar taught me everything that I know.
Man, I've been there, and I told Alexis the first time I met her was in Patagonia. We were in an Uber.
You met
Yeah.
that bitch in Patagonia in an Uber?
Long story.
That's crazy.
It's a sec-
Wait
it's a
a minute.
second
That's
episode.
actually
That's
insane.
a small ass fucking
second-
world.
Holy
Like what
shit.
are the? That's crazy.
The odds are pretty good when
That's
you think about
awesome.
the context behind it, but
Okay.
it's a
Was it-
separate
okay.
story.
Yeah.
It was for the Tricol trip.
Oh, okay.
but
Okay.
before-
Gotcha.
I remember when she went on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was literally like a month after I moved here, so I didn't know anyone yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I had heard there was other people from Nashville there, but I didn't know anyone yet.
Yeah.
And so she and I and Mike happened to be in the same Uber.
Gotcha.
Those are two really good people to pick their brains.
Yeah.
for
about.
sure.
Yeah, Mike is
Definitely.
terrifying, but goddamn is he like incredible
God, I love
person, great
Shut-
resource.
Shout out to
Oh,
Michael
yeah.
Mack. I
Yeah.
love that motherfucker.
But I've been to whenever people are in town and they want to go to spots, I always recommend Old Glory.
Yeah. It's
the
a
ambiance-
wow, the wow factor of walking in
Truly.
there. And the
Definitely.
cocktails are really yummy
Truly,
too.
it's a sexy space. The service is always great. And I've been there on chill nights when you have like you're at a table and you have table service. I've
Sure.
been there on fucking busy nights when you're on the dance floor.
Yeah.
When you got naked
And-
people above you swirling around and shit.
The grace and patience and hospitality that is delivered by the people that work there on those days
Yeah.
is something that should be implemented in every venue in the world. Like truly, like being there, like on a packed dance floor and watch people walk through the crowd with a tray.
Yeah. It's a
And
feat.
Honestly,
stop
we've
really
both
is.
been the
We've
person
both
with
been
the
there,
tray,
yes.
Yeah.
and
So,
it's
yeah.
been crazy. And I've also been that person 8 months pregnant too.
Yeah.
So people
Like-
usually part the sea whenever they see your
Yeah.
belly.
True. That does help.
Like,
But yeah, no, yeah,
You
yeah,
stop
yeah.
them and you say, "Hey, can I get a shot of Patron?" They're like, "Oh yeah, absolutely." Like no one's ever like they don't ever feel like it's a task to
Yeah.
to give you what you're asking for, which I think is like I've had a lot of bad experiences
Totally.
in this industry. I'm sure you guys have, like
Yep.
going to bars and like not getting what we think is good hospitality. But Old Glory has never had
Totally.
that problem from my
That's awesome.
experiences.
Your perspective.
That's
Yeah.
very cool.
Yeah,
Well, let's cheers to that.
yeah. Cheers.
Yeah.
That.
And then now we're gonna play a little game that I made for us. A little segment break.
Okay, we have the segment break, and then I do want to hear at least the one shit story.
Oh, yeah, we gotta get into some of
because
this.
apparently everybody has a fucking shit story.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a normal thing on our
So
podcast.
this is short.
now.
This is short. Oh yeah. Since we've started this thing, like we talk about crazy stories, and the one thing that everyone has always had in
And
common
we don't
is
even
something to do with shit.
ask it, but it just happens every
First
time.
season
Yeah.
especially, like
Yes.
it was
I mean,
shit after shit after shit
To
after
be
shit.
fair,
God.
you did say, "Oh, do you have a shit story?" Like,
Well, I did.
That was
today.
this is a
today I'm
newish
like,
thing.
All
yeah.
right, we gotta
I had
keep
to
it
think
going.
about it though. So if it had just come from conversation, I probably wouldn't have thought about it.
True.
But
Okay, we've got two this or that's. So
Right.
first one: would you rather have a barback with a god complex, or a bartender who can't count change?
He immediately started laughing at the God complex, so I'm assuming at one point he did have a bar back.
yeah,
with the
100%.
God
I'd rather
complex.
any day of the week. I'd rather a bar back that can't count change. I'm sorry, I'm a bartender that can't count change.
Okay,
I
fair.
had a bar back with a God complex, and it turned out to be such a catastrophic HR problem that it wasn't worth it.
Okay, real.
Oh God.
Okay, this one's silly. Would you rather break up a fight between two Santas or two furries?
Two Santas. I couldn't keep a straight face to those two furries. Like, what are you guys
You
doing?
can beat
Like,
the shit out of
if
both the
anyone's
furries,
on the
probably.
if anyone's on the same team, it should be you guys.
Like, what are you fighting for? You're the only two furries in the city. What the fuck's going on
Yeah.
here?
Yeah, I'd rather fight. I'd rather break up a fight between two Santas.
He'd rather fight two
And the
Santas.
Santas are going to be
Also
like
that.
older too, right?
You'd
Maybe.
hope. You'd hope.
Think.
You'd hope.
Yeah.
This economy's hitting everybody.
Santa's
I'm
retired
gonna
fighting
be a
at bars
Santa.
and
People
shit.
used to make jokes about like liberal arts majors being bartenders, but pretty soon it's gonna be Santas.
They're acting. It's all a persona.
Would you rather have Malort or Jaeger?
Jaeger, 99, actually, no, 100% of the time. Fucking
Real.
love Jägermeister.
Yeah, Jaeger's
Amen.
delicious.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Have you ever had a Jaeger Bloody Mary?
No.
No, okay.
Do
So
it.
you and Kobe talk about
Kobe
it all the
put me
time.
on.
Do you
Kobe
guys
put you
have
onto it.
Do you have Bloody Mary mix here?
We have, even better, we have canned Zing Zang Bloody Marys.
Can you make us one after this to
Would
share?
love to. Yeah.
Hell yeah. That's
Yeah.
hospitality.
I love Jaeger.
Ooh, okay, last one. Would you rather have someone that snaps at you to get your attention or someone who waves a $20 bill in your face?
To get attention.
Ooh, it's tough.
Who wants to get their ass beat?
Yeah, it's like who wants it more? Probably the 20, just because I remember one of my
Fucking
first
take
one of my first shifts at Barrel Proof. One of my mentors, Eric Molina, someone snapped me when I was pouring beers one time, and he stopped what he was doing. He was at the register. He stopped what he was doing. He said, "Did that person just snap at you?" I said, "Yeah, I think so." And he stopped what he was doing, walked over to that guy, and he said, "Look, man, I don't know where you're from, but you don't ever fucking do that in a bar again."
Period.
Yeah.
And the guy was like very like, "Oh, I'm sorry." He's like, "No. Like you should know. Like
This is
don't
like a
ever
like
do
the
that.
don't
again,
fucking
dude."
do.
Yes, this
Yeah.
is a don't fucking do. Like nobody's ever told you this, so
Yeah.
I'm telling you this now.
100%. Yeah.
Don't fucking do that ever
Yeah,
again.
and he's a dad, so he conveyed it in a way where it's like, I'm not
Ooh, it
like
was
trying to
very,
fight
like,
you. He's like,
talking to a child. Like, let me.
I'm disappointed in you as
Yes.
a human being.
Oh my god, that hurts even more. You're like, oh,
I'm
disappointed dad.
I it hasn't happened here yet, but I told them during our initial like onboarding, I told them like these are like our non-negotiables. If someone snaps at you, you
Correct
talk
them?
to them, correct them, like
Yeah.
you correct them respectfully. Just
Totally.
like, hey man, like I'm gonna take care of you, but like that is not okay. Like
or
we're
like someone who
here-
does this. It's like, listen, I see you.
I see you.
Yeah.
I'm getting to you.
Yeah.
I'll get to you. Don't make me make you wait even longer.
The snapping thing is like that's a hard no for me.
It's so demeaning. Like
Yeah.
it's such a like oh you're the
It's
help.
like
Yeah.
it's like me
You know?
calling Shot Boy over. It's
Yeah.
demeaning
But
and it's
that's-
mean.
but
No.
that's-
No, but it's
Yes, but it's
Shot
funny,
boy.
and we're doing it out of love because
Yeah.
it's usually Alan, and we love Alan,
Yeah.
and that's fine.
no, yeah,
But
no, but it's just
It's so just it's
I'm not your servant, babe.
Yeah.
We could be
Exactly.
best friends.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I get it. Like there's a lot of like psychology that's involved between like being a guest and being on that side of the bar.
Yeah.
Right? Like people definitely still have this intrinsic thought that like we work for them, which we inherently the social
Sure.
contract is that we do.
Yeah.
But just because I'm working for you in this transaction doesn't mean that I get to be treated less of a human.
Exactly.
Period.
And that is something that people are still kind of struggling to realize, I think.
Yeah, I
understand.
think it's that old '90s and early 2000s complex of like the customer's always right,
Yeah,
and like and
which ain't true.
and it's not true at all.
Yeah.
and it's just like I think it's just the teaching and like growth of people to be able to be like, hey, don't do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and we could all learn from this experience. We could all have a great time.
Yeah. It's like
And-
teaching your dog to do things,
Yeah.
but also teaching people.
I
how
would
to
lo-
just-
I would love to just squirt a customer.
we talked about
guest
that
with water
The
or
dudes?
like
We
flick
had
them
a
on the
water gun
nose.
at Barrel. We had a Nerf gun at Barrel Proof, and so like Eric, the same dude, Eric, when someone they like smacked him at the bar one time, like no hesitation, because we have these little cubbies hidden behind the bar. No hesitation, pulled out a Nerf gun and shot the dude in the chest. And he was like,
yes.
don't do that.
That's so funny.
And like,
So good.
I mean,
That's so good.
if you're a young bartender, check with your like manager before you do
Yeah,
this.
like
at home.
don't just,
Yeah,
don't
don't
just
just-
bring your own Nerf gun to the
Dude, it was
bar
like-
and start
it was
shooting
so-
people with
it
water.
was so fucking funny.
You know,
that is hilarious. We are still in the South, so just beware.
yeah,
have
they're
a-
packing too probably. So
Yeah, exactly.
I have a little spritz bottle for my plants, and sometimes I'll spray Wolfie with it when he's going to grab something. But he enjoys it. He looks at me and he's like, again. So it
was
didn't
fun.
really
That was
work.
nice.
And
Yeah.
I also feel like that's probably going to make him do some weird shit when he gets older. So I probably
Oh,
should
no.
stop doing
does he need a
that.
piss play?
Oh God.
Okay, so tell us a crazy story. Tell me something. Tell me
yeah,
something good.
I
Tell me
mean-
something about poop or not about
I think
poop.
because the one that's front of my mind now is a shit story, and there is a legendary like neighborhood dive in New Orleans called Snake and Jake's Christmas Lounge. During Tales,
I love the name.
it's
I love the
incredible.
name so much.
And I don't really know what the Christmas Lounge aspect is, honestly.
There's no Christmas involved at all. It's not even themed.
It's not. I mean, like you walk, it's all like red lights, and it's all really low
Okay.
ceiling, which is usually like a match made in heaven for
For
bartenders.
yes, and also just dive bars in general. I always
yeah.
associate both of those things
But-
with most.
I can't.
Classic
I mean, I've
dive bars.
also been there. I've been there a few times sober, but I can't recall like any like Christmas tree in the corner or like Santa hats or anything like that.
yeah.
But I remember the last time I was there, because I haven't been back since this moment. Well, that's not true. I went back during Tails last year. But previous to last year, I hadn't been there in like 3 years because the last time I was there was with a buddy of mine who worked for a brand, and he was in town with some friends that were on tour. And I went to the bathroom. I saw there was a line. I just went back to the bar, ripped a shot of Angostura bitters because that's their thing for the bartenders.
Oh, hell yeah.
So I ripped a shot of Angostura bitters with like all the people, and then tried to go back to the bar, and I saw the guy wasn't in line anymore, but there's a huge pile of shit on the floor, like in front of the bathroom.
So it was the dude that was standing in line, just couldn't hold it.
Yeah, someone opted to, and like you never know what's happened in someone's life. Someone opted to take a shit on the floor in front of the bathroom as opposed to going into the bathroom.
Yeah.
And I
love how you said you never know what's going on with anybody's life, but like that's real. But also, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean that's exactly how I thought.
I never ever want to be.
I might get it, but what the fuck,
life
dude? Yeah.
Where
I'd just go outside.
I would just go outside. Like
at least someone's like, oh, some asshole didn't pick up his dog shit. And you're like,
right?
No, that's
oh my God.
There's just so many ways they could have gone about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I have to shit that badly and it's coming out whether or not I can hold it or not, I am running out that back door.
Yeah.
And I'm doing it in the privacy of a back alleyway.
Yeah, like so I can keep some sort of dignity in my fucking goddamn
that,
my God.
And like that also, I think that's like I told the bartender, he's like, all right, and just like
he's like,
right.
just another Tuesday.
Pretty much.
What are you gonna do?
Pretty much.
Have you guys had anybody shit here where they weren't supposed to? That wasn't a dog?
No.
Not yet? Okay.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I
A lot of
said not
puking,
yet.
dude.
Knock on wood.
So much puke.
Y'all motherfuckers in Nashville puke
Baby
like it's
barfing.
nobody's business. And
I had to clean up puke
You
on
have
Tuesday.
to puke. I mean, I feel like especially this demographic
Brenda, you can attest.
is like a lot of these people that work 9
I had
to
to
5.
clean up puke on Tuesday at work. Oh,
You did?
Brenda was drunk.
At-
He does
at
not
Pearl?
remember. We were working on Tuesday, but at Pearl. Yeah.
we have a rule here that if you clean up puke, you get a 1 ounce pour of anything on the back bar.
Oh, that's
And-
so awesome.
Oh,
I love that.
No, I
it's-
said
it is killing my
hey,
margins because people be puking here all the fucking
Well,
time.
every place that I've ever worked, they're like, you can either pick it up or you don't work here anymore. And I was like, all right.
Oh, wait, that's
No,
aggressive.
No.
No.
It sucks to do. Like,
I was like, hey, you know what? Fuck it. I'll do it. But you guys are breaking down. I had like our bar back was still there.
You got a barter.
And so I was like, you guys are breaking down the wells tonight. And
Yeah.
I'm going to go clean up the puke.
Yeah.
And they were
I'd
like,
clean up
deal.
puke
And I was
over
like, cool.
breaking down a well.
yeah.
Yeah.
I see.
I was like,
I deal with
also,
so much shit
like
as a
my
mom now,
allergies were
so.
killing me. I was a little stuffed up, so I couldn't smell anything anyways. I was like, fuck it. I'm in. Like, I'll do it. I'll take one for the team. Because then the other two, like it was Brenda and our bar back Austin, and they were both like, if I see puke, I'm going to puke. I'm like, okay, I don't need double puke, so I'll do it.
Yeah, we don't
I
want
have the stronger stomach of the three of us, I guess.
Here, you could manipulate that to get an extra 1 ounce pour wherever you want. Like,
Yeah.
oh, why don't you go take a peek at it? Oh, then they throw up. All right, I'll get some.
I feel like a lot of people.
And
I'll
then
get
you
2
get a
ounces
double-
of wherever
you
I
get a-
want.
Then you're getting a rocks
Yeah, people
pour.
have to like.
That's big brain thinking right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
Big
people have to
wrinkly
puke
brain
and rally
thinking.
here.
Yeah.
They got shit to do in the morning. They're
Yeah.
gonna throw up now.
Yeah.
Have you ever thrown up in an establishment before?
Oh my God, yeah.
I also
But
have.
I responsible clean
No
up
shame.
for it. The first time I got kicked out of a bar was because I puked in the bar, and it was Panama City Beach, naturally.
Fuck
Of course.
yes. Shout out to PCB, baby.
I had just started like working in bars. Like it was when I was in like my banquet days before I started working at
Yeah.
21st Amendment. I think it was like 2011 or 2012, and I had a bunch of friends that like just graduated high school because I was a year above them, and so we went to spring break there, and we went to some bar on Panama City Beach, and I just got fucking ripped on Crown and Ginger. I just
Ooh.
like I
Bold
tipped, I
move.
tipped the bartender $20 the first time. He was like, "You come back to me."
You
then
come to
that
me and then
motherfucker-
he
I
put you
tipped
in
him-
your grave.
I probably
I was
gave
like,
him
I
like
don't know if this is a threat or like
Yeah.
he really likes me.
That motherfucker gave me like not. I mean, now I can kind of recall back. He probably gave me like 6 ounces of Crown in every single drink, and I had 4 of them.
Damn.
And I was like dancing
do
with
it.
someone on the dance floor. I'm not a good
Did you have
dancer.
shoes on?
I had shoes on.
Okay.
I fell over. They moved me to a bench. They happened to move me to a bench next to a trash can, and someone had a picture of me just like grabbing like it was like a 55-gallon trash can too.
Oh, those big boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just like pulled it over and I was like puking into it. I had to get carried out of the bar. First time I ever got kicked out of a bar.
Hell yeah. I don't
Brutal.
think I've ever actually barfed in a bar.
Don't do it. It's just not worth it. You feel so ashamed.
Not
of
even
yourself.
in a bathroom or anything?
Actually, yes, I have. At the bar that I work at now, I've barfed in that bathroom.
Were you drunk?
No.
Oh. Just upset
Just had,
tummy?
had an upset tummy. But
Is that,
also,
is that how you found out you were pregnant?
no, but that's also a funny story. I was at a picnic, and we were drinking a lot of alcohol when I found out.
And then you puked in the picnic basket.
Yeah. But
It was really romantic.
So the Snake and Jake's that you were just talking about.
Yeah.
So the pop up that was at Bonnaroo was them. It
Oh,
was
no
their
shit,
pop up.
really?
Yeah. So here's the outside of it.
Oh.
So after COVID, they got rid of it because they used to have a robe party, and you can only get in if you had a robe.
That's crazy.
And then I think they would marry people in there too. But then after COVID, just because it was so packed all the time and you could barely get in, they got rid of it and they didn't bring it back. But like I started going to Bonnaroo in 2017, and they had it 2017, 2018, and 2019.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So I was like, wait, I've heard of that before.
I fucking love that bar. I really do. I just haven't been back since the shit incident because of obvious reasons.
Yes.
But
Traumatized.
During COVID,
honestly.
they had to do what they had to do to survive. Like they kind of like redid their patio outside because like every place in New Orleans
Everybody was doing that. Yeah.
But I mean, I love that spot. I really do.
Okay, so
that's really cool. I didn't know that.
well, now you know. But I mean, it's never going to be back again, and you're super close to Bonnaroo now.
figure it out.
But if they ever bring it back, you'll know.
We can figure it out.
But to wrap this all up, we like to do a last call lightning round. So we're just going to hit you with some questions, and you can just answer. Okay. So what's your guilty pleasure drink? Like, kind of like my personal guilty pleasure drink is a Malibu Diet Bitch. I just love it. It's delicious to me. Everyone's like, why are you drinking suntan lotion? I don't know, because it tastes good, I guess.
I mean, I want to say guilty pleasure, but it's not really guilty pleasure because a lot of people in our industry love it. But it's like just a Miami Vice. It's a pina colada strawberry
yummy.
daiquiri.
Real.
Like I love those.
It's so
fucking
good.
things. It's
They're
so
delicious, but they're a bitch to make.
Yeah.
Unless your like bar is set up for them.
Good.
You know.
Long Island bar in New York, in Lower Brooklyn. One of my favorite restaurants. They call it a Cosmonaut. It's a Miami Vice of Cosmo and pina colada, and that to me is the
that's
best
hilarious.
fucking frozen drink I've ever had in my entire life.
Hell yeah.
So shout out to Toby Cicchini, creator of the Cosmo, also
out.
owner of one of the best restaurant bars in America.
Fuck yeah.
Very cool.
What's your go-to karaoke song?
I'm not a big karaoke guy, but because you asked this in Brenda's interview. So I've
He
never
remembers.
I've never done.
He's schooled.
I've never done karaoke. I tried one time at like my uncle's second wedding, and I requested they play "Kyle's Mom Was a Bitch" by Eric Cartman, and the DJ, not exaggerating, and the DJ was like, "I'm not going to do that." I was like, all right, fine. So I never did karaoke.
You never
because of
actually
that.
did it, but if you could,
So
that was the
that
song.
would have been the song.
But I've thought about it. So if
Okay.
I was going to do karaoke, it would probably be "Touch Me" by The Doors, because I feel like I can pull off that vocal range.
I
'Cause
think
he
you
just,
could too.
He just like croons.
Yeah.
He's just like,
yeah.
come on, come on, come on. It's like, I think I could do it.
Nailed it.
I think I could do
For
it.
a second there, I thought the Doors were
Yeah,
singing.
yeah. I am Jim Morris. I'm the
He is
listening
back
kid.
from the dead.
Yeah.
And he is in front of us right now.
Okay, I think you kind of answered this earlier, but where would you be? What would you be doing if you weren't in the bar industry? Surgeon?
I mean,
Question mark?
I think like the fantasy answer is that I would either be a brain surgeon, or be doing like neuroscience research. But the reality is, I can't really picture myself doing anything else. Truly.
Real.
Yeah.
If you could pick one song that is taken off TouchTunes forever and can never be played in your bar, what would it be? Or just in general.
I mean, shit. Just because of Hector, because he plays it all the fucking time. What is that Hillary Duff song that everyone's obsessed with?
Coming Clean?
I would assume. Which one?
Yeah. Dreams
Oh,
Are
this
Made
is
Of.
what dreams are
Yeah.
made of.
Yeah,
From the
Hector-
Lizzie McGuire movie?
Yes. Yeah, dude. Hector,
Add
like,
that song right now.
Oh my god.
when
Alex.
Hector's behind the bar, there's a 50-50 chance that
That's funny.
that he is playing like High School
That's-
Musical or Lizzie McGuire.
Oh, I would shoot my fucking brains
okay.
out
What
for High
nights
School
does he?
That's
Musical.
how I feel.
What
Yeah.
nights does he work? I'm coming in.
every Sunday morning, every Sunday opening shift is him, and it's like,
Oh, I'm
like if
in.
I can go another day without listening to Liz McGuire or Hillary Duff, even though I love her, like I'd be very
I
happy.
understand. I get it.
Yeah.
But that's funny.
I was thinking about this. Mine would be Don't Stop Believing by Journey.
Oh, that's a really good one.
All the dads across America are really offended right now.
Yeah.
like, fuck you, bitch.
I think mine's Mr. Brightside.
Quint said the same thing.
Really?
I love the Killers.
Man, we played
No,
it.
I love the Killers. I hate that song with a burning fucking passion.
So
Our-
shout out to you guys.
it's just the white people anthem or
Yeah.
the white millennial anthem of our time, and it's exhausting to listen to.
Our first record-setting night here was New Year's Eve 2023. I guess it's December 31st, 2023.
Yeah.
And
How many times did you play Mr. Brightside?
Only once for me to really be concerned. Like in New Orleans, like after a really good night, the energy was high. When we did Last Call, we played Bohemian Rhapsody, and the entire bar would sing along.
Oh, that's
it was
great.
Like it
That's
was part of our culture down there.
that one still slaps.
And so, December 31st, 2023, the ball drops. Everyone's cheersing. Like we're giving out shots and beers and shit for free. And I turn the music down. I say, all right, this is what Eric used to say in New Orleans. Like if you know the words, sing along. If you don't, shut the fuck up and pay attention. And I put on Bohemian Rhapsody, and the fucking room was dead. No one gave a single shit.
Oh.
And it made me so disappointed, right?
Oh,
no.
And someone came up, and they're like, can you play like Mr. Brightside? I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. I put on fucking Mr. Brightside after Bohemian Rhapsody, and the whole place blew up. And that's when I was like, I don't know fucking anything about Nashville.
Yeah.
Truly don't. Like I'm out of my element in terms of like what it takes to throw a party here in this city.
I would have jammed out to Bohemian Rhapsody. Fuck Mr. Brightside.
Yeah. Well, people
Well, you had a
love
bunch
Mr.
of fucking losers in here that night.
Yeah,
Thanks for your
clearly.
money. Just
Yeah,
kidding.
thanks for help. Thank you guys for coming.
Last one. What's your favorite drunk food? What are you just gonna fucking?
I mean, lately I've been obviously everyone does it. I've been hitting Dino's on the way home because I don't live too far from there. But
Yeah.
if I had to gun to my head, it's probably Taco Bell.
Shout out.
You
Yeah.
can't go wrong either way, honestly.
Because when I was in college and I was still paying off like my loans and I was living by myself, it was 2 beefy 5-layer burritos and a cheesy gordita crunch for like $7.79. I had
Hell
that like 4
yeah.
times a week. Like I wouldn't eat the entire day, and I would
Atomic
just
stomach.
I would just I would not be eating the entire day. I'd be driving home from school or from work. I'd hit that, and then that was like my sustenance for the next day.
What sauce are you picking?
Diablo.
Diablo?
Yeah, atomic stomach.
okay.
I don't give a shit.
Mild.
Peel it off.
You're mild?
I'm mild and hot.
I'm hot.
Mild is so good. Diablo
Diablo.
kind of tastes like soap to me a little bit.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean,
I
eating Taco Bell.
love
I'm not gonna-
heat, but like it has some sort of weird flavor to it that I don't really fuck with.
Yeah.
So I usually
Dish
go
soap.
hot because I still like the flavor.
Tastes like fucking dish.
I'm not going to be splitting hairs over hot sauce, Taco Bell hot sauce. So
Well,
I just want to feel something.
When you yes, I just want to feel something. Honestly, facts.
well, this flew by. We're
know, right?
over an hour. Jason, you were awesome. You have done a really, really great job at making this place approachable, and we love being here. And we're very happy that we were able to have you on.
Thank you guys. It was my pleasure. Thank you for Holly for DMing you guys.
Yeah, dude.
We had you guys on the
Yeah.
list anyways,
Yeah.
so it just kind of worked out that we got the DM and we're like, okay, we
This
can make
worked out
work.
perfectly.
Yeah.
But before we go, I have one last question
Oh,
and
yeah,
one
I'll
more
take one.
shot. Yeah, of course.
Say less.
Um,
We gotta do our outward.
if you could have a drink with one person, dead or alive, who would it be?
I thought about this question a lot. Not to discredit Nick, because I think it's a great answer, but Anthony Bourdain's up there, right?
Totally.
I think most people in our industry, I also, Jill, I gave you a big shot, so I apologize.
Thank you. Big shot for the big mama.
I didn't realize until
I love you take the other one because this one's
Oh,
yours. It was
oh.
the bigger one.
Sorry, I'll take that one. Thank you.
Do you want the little shot or the
take
big shot?
whichever one you want. It's fine.
He's got to work today.
Yeah.
I also have to work today. Oops.
I didn't realize until I was in this industry and I realized it was my career how much of an influence Anthony Bourdain was.
Yeah.
My dad had read all of his books when they came out. We watched
Parts unknown.
Parts Unknown and The Layover and No Reservations. We watched all those things together growing up. So I didn't realize how important Anthony Bourdain was to my philosophy when it came to hospitality. So that's one of my answers for sure, because he is such a cultural impact in our industry of
Yeah.
he's a cook that we could relate with.
Yeah.
And when you realize that's the common person in our industry is someone who's like him.
Yeah.
It kind of changes your perspective of the industry. Sorry. Not including Anthony Bourdain, it'd probably be both my grandfathers. Because I didn't realize until recently, within the last couple of years, one died a couple of years ago, one died about 10 years ago. But he suffered from Alzheimer's, so he wasn't himself 10 years
Sure.
before his death.
Yeah.
I wish I could have a drink with them now when they were in their prime, when they were in their my age.
Yeah.
They're even older, their 40s or 50s. Just to get to know them a little bit better, their lives and what they struggled with, what their fears were,
Yeah.
what they were happy about, what they were sad about, that kind
Yeah.
of stuff.
Just get to know him as a fucking person.
Yeah, because you don't realize it until obviously it's too late. But I
Totally.
wish I had those experiences with them and get to know them a little bit better.
Well, shout out to your grandpas.
Yeah, both named George, by the way.
George.
Yeah,
George
both
is
Just hanging out with the Georges.
Yeah,
I love that.
yeah.
That'd be cool as hell.
What about
would
y'all?
be-
I mean, I know it's Anthony Bourdain for you.
So mine switched. So I thought that we didn't answer it the last time, but my first answer was Mac Miller. And then my second answer was our late boss from Old Glory,
Gotcha.
Emily.
Okay.
Best friend. Love
Yeah.
her.
That was our
Sorry about
GM when
that.
we worked there
At Old
and
Glory. She ran
passed
the
in
show.
2023. She was our first guest on this podcast.
The very
No
first
shit.
episode.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
It's okay. Love her. I would have a fucking drink. I would have a gin and soda with that bitch.
Can you send me a link to that?
I will.
I will.
recording?
So we had an issue with starting our new the new season 3, and so they all got deleted. But luckily, I have all of them on my computer.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Luckily, I have them, and I'm very proud of my anal self for like saving everything. So I'm gonna start going
We
back.
said
in.
anal so much today.
I think it's the first time we've said anal.
No,
on
I
this
said
on
it
the,
so
on the
many times.
episode, yeah, it's the first time it's been
Well,
said.
sorry, before the episode. Anyways.
Anyways, I found all the
Sneak.
episodes, and I'll be re-downloading
We'll send a
and
link.
uploading all of
She
them.
was a very important part of Old Glory. She's fucking awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, that's who I was.
She
that's who I would have a
created
drink.
that world.
Yeah.
Which is still holds true today, which is
That's
awesome.
incredible. Yeah.
But before you go, can you tell people where they can find you?
Yeah, I don't think you
I'm
have any
on
You don't
social
have an
media.
Instagram,
Yeah.
so
I'm
they
off
can
social
find
media,
you
yeah.
right
At
here
Barrel Proof.
at
Yeah.
Barrel Proof.
Yeah.
You don't have to tell everybody
come to
where-
Barrel
when you
Proof, 1010 4th Avenue North. I'm usually here. Like I'm here every day from like 10 to 3. But Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I'm usually here from like 7 to close. Or not 7 to close. I'm not going to lie about that. But I'm here for like the peak hours of business, like
Cool.
7 to 11, 7 to 12.
And what's Barrel Proof's Instagram?
At Barrel Proof Nashville. And if you DM us, odds are you're going to get Holly, but you never know, you might get me.
You're gonna get a
Hey.
really great response.
You're going to be
is what
talking to
gonna
someone.
fucking get.
It's not going to be like an automated response or
Exactly.
like a PR team that's not involved with the bar. Like it's going to be us. So
Yeah.
I'll say that much.
And I can attest to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Well, thank you so much for being on.
Thank you,
This
guys.
was a really fun episode.
I had a blast. Thank you guys for having me.
Agreed.
We didn't mention the fucking phone number, so Alan, put the phone number down at the bottom of the screen.
Right here.
You got it. You got it.
Right
Just
here.
say it.
Alan, put it here.
Tell us your shit stories. Call us 347-927-8333. And you can follow us at Wasted Truth Pod. And you can follow me at Jilly Vanilli with 2 eyes.
And you can follow me at Nicolette K, spelled Nikoletettek.
And remember, your hair looks great.
And we love you.
Oh, yeah. Do it.
No.
Let's take the
Cheers.
I thought about it for a second, though. Cheers, y'all.
Cheers.